Hello, everyone.
Good
Thank
evening.
you for joining us. We are very happy to be here doing the second installment of our Lunar Phases um, vlog, with tonight's topic being let's talk about seeing the signs the universe is sending you. Because we are close to Halloween as well as a full moon, we decided to dress in character this evening. So I'm Sandra the Siren, and I'm joined by my beautiful cohort, Angie the Astromancer. Also, we'd like to welcome our special guest, Alatar the Magnificent Wizard, has decided to join us this evening. So, with all of that being said, we're going to get started on our topic. So, when we say seeing the signs that the universe is sending you, that could mean many things. I'm sure if you're watching this, you may have experienced a time when you thought about maybe a song and then later heard it on the radio, or you found money that you had forgot that you had hidden somewhere. And sometimes the universe kind of points us in the right direction or gives us signs, and it's really up to us whether we're going to acknowledge those things that we see. So back in about 2015, right? Was it about
I believe so.
2015? So, wow, almost 6 years ago. Angie and I began to notice that both of us were seeing repetitive numbers at very unusual times. For example, I would pick up my phone, really for no reason except maybe just to check the time or something. And I would notice that I would check it at exactly 11:11 or 1:11 or 12:12 or 2:22, 3:33, so on and so forth. Or I might be setting at my computer, typing an email, and just stop and look at the time for some reason. And it would say again 1:11, 11:11, whatever. And I thought, this is odd. I'm starting to see repetitive numbers. I'm not sure what exactly is going on. And one day I mentioned to Angie, I think we were just talking, I can't even remember about what, and I said, something weird has been happening to me. I've been taking notice of repetitive numbers. And at that time, Angie said the exact same thing was happening to her. We were both experiencing it at the same time. And we thought there has to be something to this if we're both starting to see these repetitive numbers. So I believe I got on Google at the time, and I just, I think I put in the search bar seeing the numbers 111 or seeing repetitive numbers. And well, come to find out, it's not an unusual thing, and that other people were experiencing that. And what we found were that people, or that the general belief was, if you were someone who was starting to experience seeing repetitive numbers, that you were on the verge or you were approaching something, some type of spiritual or other awakening in your life, that the universe was sending these signs to wake you up, for lack of a better term, I guess. So over the years now, going on 6 years, we have been again taking note of, seeing the repetitive numbers. And sometimes it might be, a week or two, and we might not maybe touch base with each other and say, oh, I saw this or I saw that. Then we'll go through a period of time where it's several times a day. We make sure and we let the other one know, like, oh, I saw 11:11 today, or I saw 1:11 or 3:33. Something that's been happening to me lately is I'm seeing things like the number like 6116, which would be a palindrome, and it happens a lot. Like if I go to the grocery store, it's on my receipt, or if I go to Walmart, it's I'll see it on my receipt, or the change back will be, or sometimes it'll even be like my total would be like 4040, or the numbers are not just staying in the lower, I guess you could say, like the lower numbers. So I think we want to share with you what we believe seeing the repetitive numbers means for us, and could possibly mean for you if you are somebody that is experiencing that. So, Angie, do you want to start by talking about, well, do you want to start with 111 or the numbers one?
First, I want to say we're on the same wavelength a lot.
Yeah.
So what one of us thinks, the other one thinks. If one doesn't think of it, the other one thinks of it. So that works out really well for us. But when you see numbers, it is an awakening, and you're supposed to pay attention. You're not supposed to just, a lot of people say, oh, it's just coincidence. That's called synchronicity, but not everything is synchronicity. Yes, things do happen in coincidence. You do think about something. You think about ice cream, and the ice cream man drives by or whatever. Or you think about an old friend you haven't seen for long and you see her. But numbers are a little bit different because when they show themselves to you, they have a meaning. Each number has a meaning, and so therefore it's trying to notify you maybe about something that you need in your life that you don't even realize at this time. So, for example, the 111 is a wake-up call. It simply means pay attention to your inner being. Don't fight it. You don't have to make it bigger than it is, but think about how you're feeling at that time. Think about what you were watching, if you were talking to somebody, but it means something. 111 is a powerful number, and just make sure, because all of the numbers are very magical, they're very angelical, and very mesmerizing, and a lot of people do think they come from their guardian angels. So it is a spiritual thing, and you need to pay attention to it, I believe.
Yeah, and I also think that we kept asking ourselves, like, man, why are we seeing these numbers? What could this mean? You know, when is this magnificent awakening going to take place? And then we realized it is taking place. It's happening as we speak. I mean, I would even consider this year of 2020 a time of awakening. I mean, we felt we were called to step up and start speaking about the things that we have been experiencing, hoping that we can share them with others, and maybe they too can relate to that. We can help others. We'll talk in a little bit about some ways that we can help you. But we realize that, okay, maybe this awakening that we keep hearing about, and we keep seeing the repetitive numbers, and we keep talking to each other about, communicating to each other about, is happening now. But if you do see, like, you start seeing repetitive numbers like 111 or 11, take note of it. You know, if you have to write it down, or like Angie and I will text each other, so we are almost like holding each other accountable, like, okay,
keeping a record sort of too. We're keeping a record.
Yeah, so you're keeping track of kind of like how often it happens. You know, and maybe in your own life you'll say, well, I started to see 1111 and then, or 111, and then all of a sudden something great happened, or something unexpected happened, or I found something I was looking for. I mean, sometimes the universe is telling you, stop, pay attention, and let's see what happens. So,
well, everything happens for a reason. So nothing just happens. It's there for you to pay attention to.
yeah.
Just maybe take notice of it and say, like, something happened at 2:22. Well, the numbers 2 are usually to do with family. So that would be like your personal or even your business relationship at work. Those are times to think about that because it has to do with your business and personal life. So something in that number 2 could be telling you something. It could be just wanting to say, oh, it's 2:20. Maybe you forgot to do something that you were supposed to do at 2:20. You never know. You know, everything happens as it should, really.
Yeah, and I would just say, I would offer this advice is, if you are someone who is starting to see repetitive numbers, or you are starting to feel that maybe the universe or your guardian angels or your guides are sending you signs, take note. Acknowledge it. You know, don't just sweep it under the rug and pretend like it's not happening. Really try to find out for yourself how this could help you, how it could benefit you. You know, also, as part of our around-the-clock event services that we offer, you know, you can get a hold of us if we can help you, maybe in your own journey and finding ways to have your own awakening or become more awake or aware. We'll sure do that. As we mentioned in our last video, we are offering some new services that we're really excited about, and that's the relaxation therapy, the clearings, the house blessings, and we can do that in any way that makes someone feel most comfortable. We work with you on how you want to have those services and how you want them to work for you. So if at any time feel free to just please contact us. Via Facebook is really the best way to get a hold of us. We're always on the ball with responding to messages. And of course, go to our page anyway. Check it out. Obviously, if you're watching this video, you're on there. See some of the things that we offer and see if we can help you in some way with anything that you need, any event or, like I said, any type of, kind of metaphysical growth or anything that you're trying to achieve. So, Angie, is there anything else you want to share about repetitive numbers?
I think there's a lot of different things. Like she said, even like with relaxation, it's proper breathing. Sometimes just having somebody remind you to just take a deep breath, just relax, try to calm down, have some nice music, or just be able to talk. Sometimes we just need to talk. And sometimes we need silence. We're also busy in this world, and we're all going crazy and always helter-skelter. We need time to relax. Like sometimes I'll just put on music like we have on tonight, and I'll relax and I'll think. Because a lot of it is intuition telling you to pay attention. Your intuition comes forth, and we don't all trust our intuition that we should. Another thing is sometimes it's simply your conscience. You got things on your conscience. You need to get them off of your conscience.
Yeah.
And that's another reminder, because these numbers come forth and it might be telling you, okay, it's 3:33. It's time for you to get balance in your life. Mind, body, and soul. Those are what the threes mean. So if you think about it, you can put it all in perspective where it works for you, and you can get something good out of it.
Yeah, that's great advice. And if you ever have a question, I mean, there's lots of sites that you can find, on the internet that give guidance to if you start seeing a certain repetitive number, what you can expect to see from that, from seeing that sign. Obviously, it's overabundance of opportunities for you to figure out what you can use to interpret if you see repetitive numbers, or maybe even any other sign that the universe might send you. I mean, it's not like it's not like the universe only says see repetitive numbers. We went through a period of time where we saw repetitive letters, and I know for myself, sometimes I'll find feathers, just really unexpected places. I'll find a feather, and it, depending on the color of the feather, it might be a white feather that indicates something, so take note and be more aware of the signs that might be being sent to you.
And think about how you feel when you find that feather. Think about what you were going through. What maybe it could be something peaceful. You might find a black feather and you might have a thought in your mind that, gee, something's wrong. I need to pay attention to this. But a white feather might signal inner peace that you need to get for yourself. And not everybody's, they're going to be around to help you. But you can also message us on our Facebook page too.
Yeah.
If you have any questions, you can feel free to message us. But I know I see a lot of the same numbers. And they say that the fives are meaning transition, that you might need to make a little change in your life, because fives are that number. And then fours are for home bodies, not home bodies, but home families and all that. And then the 1010 is a great number for giving you strength, and it's going to support you. So I see 1010 a lot, so do you. We see 1111, 1010. We see a lot of the same numbers. But it's for us, it's comforting, because we usually know that it's trying to get our attention. And there's probably something wonderful waiting, because things can be magical. They don't have to mean bad things. It can just mean you need to be aware of it. Maybe there's a solution that you hadn't thought of, but you see the numbers and you think, gee, what just happened? I just got off the phone with so-and-so, or I just talked to my mom, or I need to talk to my mom, just whatever. Just put yourself in that time span and see what you're feeling at that time.
I think that it's been a really good discussion. Can you think of anything else?
Well, I do think people are very bad about talking bad about themselves, and a lot of us are. I'll be the first one to put myself down. But you need to expect good. Sometimes we get in the habit of not expecting good things to happen. We're just thinking, oh, this is the way it's going to be because this is the way it's been. And you need to stop thinking like that, because I really do believe what you say is what you get. And don't say anything about yourself that you don't want somebody else to say to you. I just feel like we're all too hard on ourselves. And right now it's very stressful times still. Hopefully they're going to get better. But just really think about things that can help you, help your morale, help you wake up in the morning feeling better. I'm, for one, not a morning person. So usually I have to think about something that I'm going to enjoy during the day for me to absolutely get up, get going. You know, that's just me. But also when you see the 11s, that's a divine call. That's a really serious number. So you really need to pay attention to what your heart, your soul, and your intuition is telling you. Because sometimes we do things we know it's wrong, but it's just easier to keep doing that instead of change. Change is hard, like we talked about in the last one. But we have to change. Everything changes. The world changes. Everything around us changes. Our people change. We could try to be the same thing that we've always been, and somebody else is going to change, and it's not going to matter anymore.
Yeah.
We have to be willing to change. We have to be willing to take a chance and step outside of ourselves.
True.
We really do. It's very important, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, and then 12. 12 is for working on relationships. So, and I see that a lot too. I actually see a lot of the same numbers. It's crazy. Today, I think I saw 3 or 4 different sets.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes we
She
both
she was really on one today. I was so busy, I didn't even have a chance to stop and see him, but that's why we work so well together, because she was seeing them and I was like, good job, good catch. And obviously knowing we were going to do our video this evening, I felt like that was very fitting that
Another
today.
thing, when you're not sure and we're not happy in your place that you're stationed in life, that's time maybe to think about changing something. I know I said last time, you know, you're not a tree and you can move, and that sometimes sounds hard. But we do have the capability of moving, and your life is like a book. It's like a chapter. You have this chapter. This chapter was pretty good. This chapter, you don't like it. Okay, so start over. You don't have to keep living that chapter in that day over and over and over. Rip that page out. Rewrite it the way you want it to be. It sounds simple, and it isn't that hard. We make things hard. That's the problem. We make things hard on ourselves. And we just need to, nobody expects out of you what we expect out of ourselves.
Right.
We think they do, but they don't. We're hardest on ourselves, trust me. And like I said, you have to be true to yourself. So those are all just little things. I mean, they're not huge things, but you can't feed into people's drama. You've just got to, if somebody's bugging you and you just can't deal with it, like I said, don't deal with it.
No.
Go to your quiet place, or go be with your kids, go with your family, go do something, have some fun, do something different. Don't do the same thing over and over and over. I really believe that's important. And otherwise you're going to miss things. So you got to be mindful and aware.
Yeah.
I think those are 2 very good things. And of course, you know, this Saturday is the full moon, and it's a rare full moon. And the reason it's a rare moon is because anytime there's 2 full moons in 1 month, you've got a blue moon. So the moon may not look blue, but I will tell you, when it first comes over the horizon and you see it, it will have a blue cast. Because usually, if it's an amber moon, and it's also the hunter's moon. So it's very, very, that's a good memory for me too. The hunter's moon are always fine to go hunting by and go outside and go for walks. It's a great feeling.
Yes, we love the moon. And also, which Angie kind of touched on, like being nice to yourself, being more positive about yourself. You know, that is one of the topics that we are going to discuss on our next vlog next week. So please be sure to tune in next week as well, because we're going to talk about being able to be more positive and draw more positive energy into your life in ways that you can do that. So that's going to be a great vlog as well.
And remember this, it's easier to do the right thing than to not do the right thing. Because if you have to think about something and wonder, you probably shouldn't do it. It's probably not good for you. So it's just easier to say, okay, you know what, I really should do this. And then you're not fighting with yourself. You're not fighting with the universe. You're letting the universe come into you, and you're listening with open arms. And it's really important. And find things that make you feel good. Keep little things around you. We're not going to have him around all the time. But tonight it was fun. You know, it was a fun thing to do, and kind of get into the whole atmosphere of the moon this weekend. And I think it's been 76 years.
Wow.
Since 1944, the last double moon like this, blue moon in a month, of October. So I think it's going to be really fun. And I think we won't have it again for another 19 years. So let's all get out and enjoy the moon and have fun. And it's a rough Halloween this year. But like my little great-grands are all going to come over to the house, and we're just going to have a little party here. And we get used to things, and next year will be better.
All right. Well, again, thank you for joining us. I'm Siren Sandra. This is the Astromancer Angie. also our Professor Alatar back here overseeing the vlog this evening. Thank you again for joining us, and we can't wait to see you again. So, talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.